So a video showed up on YouTube of these guys in a boat that see a moose swimming in a lake. So they do what any Canadian would do, approach the moose on the boat and have one of the guys jump off and board the moose. He rode it for like 15 seconds in a lake.
Yeah.
And so evidently, in British Columbia, I was reading, I tried to hit this from all angles.
Right.
In a lot of Canadian territories, this isn't even illegal.
Yeah. It's not illegal.
In some, but British Columbia, according to moose law, they could be facing a $100,000 fine.
Moose law being the highest form of law in the land.
Highest form of law.
They have their own moose constitution in British Columbia, from my understanding.
So where it is legal in Canada, is that because some people have figured out how to like tame a moose?
I think they just think the moose doesn't appreciate being ridden. But I think, my thing is it became illegal when the boat entered into the equation.
Okay.
Like if you're able to just wrangle a wild beast and ride it, that happens in nature when humans arguably every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you can approach a moose in the wild and you just stare at him and he takes to his knees and you board him.
Right.
Okay. There's nothing more natural than that.
Right.
Yeah.
The brawny man would,
There's nothing more natural.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want the government telling me I can't do that. I can't make a connection in nature to a moose.
There's a Florida version of this. It doesn't hit international news like the breaking moose story does, but here we have manatees. They call them the sea cows.
Oh, yeah.
And they're very slow moving. They eat lettuce, And there's the Blue Springs up here nearby where people go, and a lot of people will spend the day there with their beer coolers. And by the end of the day, they get into shenanigans. Mm-hmm. And they
work up some courage.
They work up some courage, and from time to time, they'll swim out and mount the manatees and ride them like stand-up paddleboarders. And they're just out there riding manatees and getting arrested and everything.
They're not going to bite you. They're really slow moving.
They're super gentle.
Beer cooler or not, Eddie's doing this every weekend.
Okay, here's my question.
Yeah, I've touched a manatee before. They're real sweet.
Here's from an ethical standpoint.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is why it doesn't make sense that the authorities in Canada are looking for this guy. I'm not advocating for riding a moose that doesn't want to be ridden, or any other animal for that matter. But I'm just saying, what's the difference between this and a rodeo, where the whole premise of the rodeo is how long can you ride an animal that clearly does not want to be ridden?
Yeah.
Like, this seems more ethical to me because you're in their territory.
Yeah.
But also, couldn't the moose have drowned? Like, was it swimming?
I think there were a lot of risk involved, but anytime you're boarding a 1,200-pound beast in the wild, lots of things can go wrong. The point is, nothing did. It was a catch and release situation.
Well, you're right though about the whole thing about the thing being in the wild making it different. Like, think about a circus. I mean, if in the wild you walked up to a lion and hit it with a whip, you're in trouble. But in the circus, we're going to pay admission to watch that.
Well, I don't mean to pull the God card here.
Okay.
But Genesis 1, we have dominion over animals.
So you're saying we have dominion. You see a moose in the water, you see a manatee in the water, that thing it's your right to ride it.
I'm saying if you disagree with it,
brothers
then you're a heretic. That's what I am saying.
Yeah, we have dominion. Yeah, we can do whatever we want. We want to ride that moose. That's great. You want to die whatever you had an eagle and then they take a dress away or whatever it is. You go ahead and do that. It's your own ethic, but I don't think it should be illegal. But it's this is your moral compass that you have to.
And if you die chasing your dreams, then so be it. That's natural selection.
Natural selection. Yeah. If those guys, now I don't wish harm upon those guys, but if by some chance they got killed in the process of riding a moose, they had hopped out of a boat and they rode a moose, I think their parents would have been sad, but kind of like, well, yeah, that's probably how it happens.
That's what happens.
That's Canada.